Now, James Comey has been playing a reckless game with American democracy. First, several months ago, when he cleared Hillary Clinton on the email server story, it was unprecedented, frankly, for the head of the FBI to come out and give an address where he was like, "Well, there aren't criminal charges here, but I don't like the look of it." That's not what you're supposed to do. If you're a DA and you're not bringing a case against somebody, you don't say like, I'm not bringing charges, but this doesn't look good. You bring charges or you don't. You don't use an opportunity to try to embarrass somebody in public. And now even worse, James Comey has taken a story, the discovery apparently that there are other emails on an email device that Huma Abedin owned, and that was accessed, I believe, by Anthony Weiner and his exciting internet adventures, that may have more Clinton emails. They may not, in fact. I mean, really, this story is like nothing. And I want to say really quickly, I agree that for any number of reasons, okay, like Hillary Clinton was not the smart Democratic nominee. For any number of reasons. From the perspective of that primary, if you're an actual progressive and you care about the future of the country and solving deep structural issues, Bernie was the no-brainer choice. If you were too, sort of scared of that option, I think, frankly, that there are more, centrist-y Democrats that would have been picks with less baggage. So I think we can be real about it. But I also would like people to be real and stop pretending, especially if you're on the left, that this email scandal means anything, and stop hunting and looking for straws here. It's ridiculous. You're becoming like right-wing conspiracy people. And I want to just do 1 minute on how to interpret the emails that we've seen so far. There's sort of three interpretations that I see presented. One is there's the, nothing to see here, folks. There's no problem ever. There's no, it isn't at the very least questionable that, why would Donna Brazile give the Hillary Clinton campaign looks at questions? And why, and the contradictions between some public and private statements and some problematic policy tendencies, sure. That's all real. And to pretend that there's nothing to see there is disingenuous. But then it's like, we were talking about this morning, like if out of an email dump, the biggest revelation is that Donna Brazile gave Hillary Clinton questions that obviously would be asked anyways, while she was a CNN contributor, but also like a long-term Democratic operative. I mean, if you think that's a big deal, I would love to be living in your world. Because shit, that's nothing. And most of these stories are totally nothing, other than they show you in some ways that sometimes Democratic elite operatives are not that politically savvy. And it shows you, Thomas Frank's perspective, which is that this sort of shows you how business is done and sort of deal making and elite decision making. And there's a lot of sort of intrinsic problems there. That's the distinction that we've always tried to make. It's one thing to, these fantasy stories that the Clinton Foundation was some sort of global organized crime hub, and this constant quest to find these sort of conspiracy theories to be validated is all nonsense. And then at the same time say, yeah, they all spent the Clintons spent their years out of office hanging out with plutocrats, pushing neoliberal agendas that often sort of benefit their own narrow set of interests. That's innately culturally problematic, of course. But she also said things in some of these overall leaks that were reassuring. It was reassuring to look at how they folded on TPP. It was reassuring that when she was at Wall Street Bank, she had the self-awareness to say, I'm not really in contact with middle-class experience anymore. I think people need to, I don't understand the polarization of reaction to Hillary Clinton in either direction. I find it fantastical that people want to say that she's some great, unprecedented progressive leader. And I also think the idea that people are buying into that she's the most unique criminal mastermind in world history is fucking stupid. And I wish everybody would stop going to their own version of being dumb and get a little bit mature, and also realize that, yes, over the next week, it is quite important that we defeat Donald Trump. And I will always talk about welfare, the Iraq invasion, the Haiti record, her being wrong in the context of the campaign against Bernie. Absolutely. But also, let's get real. And let's also maybe, at the very least, elect our first woman president versus at the abundantly least confirmed misogynist. And I'll leave it to you to look up all the other rumors that are swirling around in the internet about Donald Trump and women. I won't comment on them, but there's a big trail there.
Hey, it's Sam Seder. Why don't you subscribe to this channel? You can do so right over here. Over. Subscribe.